It's me. It's that N to the T to the G, rolling once again with that BTWB, Big Trouble with the Bishop, taking up the whole screen. And I'm Nikki the Good, and we are the Meat Pop Express. And today is the day of all days. It's the days that the world has been waiting for. It is the inaugural. It's the first time. It's the first time ever in the history of wrestling that we are going to have the PWM10, the Pro Wrestling Media Top 10 list, a totally original idea brought to you by the Meat Pop Express. And we are dressed to the nines because this is a serious list. Am I right, Big Trouble?
Absolutely. Just like the PWI 500, this list is totally unbiased. We got together with a very secretive, very important group of people, and we came up with this extremely exclusive list of the best pro wrestling journalists on the planet.
We would have had this done weeks ago, but it took us forever to get the panel.
It took time. We're not going to tell you who's on the panel. We're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you, but just believe us, it was a very exclusive panel with the most important people in professional wrestling.
It's the truth. So yeah, exclusive panel. It may or may not have been handpicked by us, but that's
allegedly, but
that's here nor there. Basically, what the deal is for this show is, guys, we're gonna have the regular show. We're gonna have, we're gonna have your hot takes, your Takey too Hotty, your actually over, all that stuff. But really, we want to celebrate pro wrestling media because ourselves, we've gotten into the game, right? We're taking over the game, right? As you guys all know, and it's time that we're celebrated. All of these wrestlers are getting all this great publicity. They're saying, "Oh, I was ranked this, I was ranked that." But what about us? Nobody even knows what you guys do. Yeah, I'm talking about you wrestlers. Yeah, nobody even knows what you do. If it wasn't for us media people, if it wasn't for us personalities, I mean, who the hell else is going to be reporting on all the things you guys do backstage and all the things you guys do that you don't want us to know about because we're just dumb marks, right? Who else is supposed to bring that to you? It's us, and we're the reasons why you guys are as successful as you are. So anyway, we're going to put ourselves over with this list. What do you think, Ben?
Sure, I think so too. I think we might have made the list. We might have made the list. Again, anyway, unbiased with a panel of experts.
Totally unbiased. But for this week, I mean, it was kind of a slow week for me personally. Ben, didn't have much going on. My wife, she's away. So I've been alone. I was able to actually watch TV last night from the beginning of start for Dynamite and whatnot. It was nice. It was good, but I'm really fired up to be here right now, once again in my basement. So let's get on with the actual show. We're going to start off with Takey too Hotty. And while my week wasn't as exciting, pro wrestling had some stuff go down this week that just got not only the actual promotions, get going and getting a little heated, but online, man, people were just at each other's throats, and it had to do with WWE's newest signing. And who might that be, Big Trouble? Who is it?
We get one of the biggest signings of all time. I think so. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that of all time. Jade Cargill is now in WWE. We heard the rumors swirling. SRS over at Fightful, he broke it a few weeks back. People were saying that Jade Cargill was going to go to WWE, and it happened. It happened this week. Walking into the Performance Center, everyone picked it up. ESPN picked it up. It was a major story. Everybody was talking about it, and I don't remember the last time something like this happened, where it was this big of fanfare around a signing.
Right. And this should be celebrated. Like the fact that people are even debating, or having a conversation around what does this mean for WWE? Like, it's okay to have that conversation, but any negative, connotation around Jade joining WWE is absolutely foolish. First of all, I don't give a damn about her in-ring performance right now. That is the last thing on my mind. If the first thing you're thinking about is, oh, but how is she going to keep up with Bianca Belair? You're missing the entire point of professional wrestling. You're just missing it. Point blank, period. You are missing it. It's about attractions, stars, getting ticket sales, and getting people in there to be entertained by larger than life characters. And Jade Cargill looks like a fucking superhero. hero. Okay.
She's an action figure.
She's an action figure. So get it through your heads. Stop talking about, oh, but is she going to be able to, keep up with a Bianca, or she better be able to, or what? Or what?
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. She's going to make more money.
No.
Selling merch and everything like that. And you're going to enjoy it if you just let yourself have a little bit of fun.
Yep.
No, that's it. Just let you have some fun, man.
And we spoke about this in the last episode about how, now WWE's obviously now has been acquired by Endeavor, and Endeavor has a whole vertical of entertainment agents, and lawyers and all that stuff. And Jade doesn't want to be just known as a pro wrestler. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. She wants to be a superstar. She wants to be a household name. And at this time, going to WWE, that's how you got to do it. I mean, at this point, and she made a business decision, and she should be celebrated for it, as she has been for the past week. But of course, you got the loud minority that's going to come out and be the ones trying to rain on her parade and saying she turned her back on AEW, saying AEW, all that. And then on the other side, people saying AEW fumbled the bag. No, nobody fumbled the bag.
I wanted to just jump through the TV, not the TV, but my computer screen when people were saying that. Like, fumbled the bag.
Yeah, like, no, it's fumbled.
As
she
if
made
it's
a decision.
Like it's as if it's easy. Like, it's not easy to build stars. Everyone just talks about, like, I would do this, I would do that, like, without ever knowing what exactly is going on behind the scenes, right? Contracts, right? Who doesn't want to be used in a certain manner? Who's willing to play ball? Who's not? We don't know any of that.
No.
And also, Tony did his best job. Like, keep in mind, like, he put together a streak, right? She obviously was green. They did their best with entrances, with her gear, with giving her, like, the baddies, right? All those things. They tried really hard, but to compare them to WWE still is not fair. You're talking about 40 years of perfecting this craft, and people are still giving Tony Khan shit. Sure, Tony Khan likes to book 1,000 6-man tags or whatever like that, and they're a bit repetitive. But when it comes to what he did with Jade Cargill, I thought he did a damn good job. You know what? He did such a damn good job that WWE wanted to sign her ass. So how do you like that? While I'm dressed like this, I'm dressed like a star. Why didn't WWE sign me?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The one thing I will say on this, though, is that WWE, they do throw a little shade. They are very calculated with how they announce this. You notice they said a industry icon or leader. They said something that in the press release. They never said AEW where she was. They never mentioned that. And they showed her. They never show anybody this, but maybe pick this up. They show her going to the Performance Center.
Yep.
They show her. They didn't show her walking into HQ. They showed her walking into the Performance Center. Meaning, this is what I'm thinking. They got the gears.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
They're subconsciously saying, "You're not ready until we train you."
Yeah.
So they are letting you know, and they showed pictures of her training, and it's like, she's great and all, but not until she goes through our stuff.
Like, it's all those things you're saying about her online. Well, it's not her fault. It's because she wasn't being taught properly. That's basically the way kind of I was taking it. It's like, okay, now you're coming to people who actually know what they're doing. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if that's true. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not a wrestler. I'm just saying that's probably what WWE is when we talk about throwing a little bit of shade.
And we don't want to throw shade. I know where she trained, and she trained with a few people.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Most notably in the Nightmare Factory. And there's nothing against that. But again, there's nothing that compares to the Performance Center. At the end of the day, there really isn't. You have Shawn Michaels. You get some of the best minds ever in wrestling there training. So it's tough you can't compete with that.
I mean, you say you have Shawn Michaels training you. It's like, okay. Well,
I mean, he trained Daniel Bryan. He's considered the greatest wrestler of our current generation. So,
exactly. And then Shawn is considered like the greatest of his generation.
The greatest of all time. So there you go. Yep.
So that's one take, man. I'm exhausted.
I'm already tired.
I say that once an episode. What else you got? You got a take, Ben? What you got? Any takes?
Thinking through this week, man, Jade really controlled the headlines this week. Other takes this week, Nick, I don't think I have any others.
Well, I do, luckily.
Wait, do you have one? Okay,
absolutely.
Let's hear it.
So listen, I agree with something that was said on Dynamite last night. Okay, I've been saying it for months, saying it for almost years at this point. Listen, the MJF and Switchblade promo I thought was very good. I was entertained by it. I tweeted it, and if I tweet it, it's true. Now, he said something that I've been trying to say articulately forever. And the fact of the matter is that everyone's like, Jay White's the man. Switchblade is the man. Well, MJF went out there and basically said, I'm going to speak for the people that actually know what the hell they're talking about. He's like, coming from an actual top star, meaning himself. He's like, Jay White is what New Japan Pro Wrestling has conditioned people to think is a top star, meaning someone who just has a great look, a cool nickname, cool gear, and can do a lot in the ring. But when it comes time to get on the microphone, right, that's where stars are born. Can we just stop? Can we just stop talking about the in-ring Thunder Tiger drivers from the top rope? Look at his work rate. That has never made a star. Like, very rare people have done that. Even Bryan Danielson, for as great he is in the ring, and he is one of the greatest ever, he still can cut a damn good promo. Do you think that helps him become a big star? Of course it does. Of course it does, because you cannot reach the heights of an Austin, of a Rock, without being able to fucking talk and have a character. Why am I so heated, Ben? Why am I?
No, it's because we've come to the point where it's the loud minority takes over and they make everybody think that it's all in ring work. It's all in ring work. Bryan Danielson was an amazing wrestler for years, for 10 plus years. And even when he got back to WWE was looking at him in developmental for a bit. Then he went to Ring of Honor. Then he went to other places and all that, the indies. And he did it what I think is the right way. And then he came back and still, it's like, hey, he's a great wrestler. It wasn't until Team Hell No and the Yes started and all that when he really showed that he's more than just a good wrestler. And can be a character. And he's like you said, a damn good promo, where he started just taking off. And that's when he started taking off. It wasn't because he was the most amazing grappler.
This is the most over shit he's ever done, and he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and that is not debatable. Like, no, that's why the Islanders do it after all their wins. Like,
Michigan State.
It was adopted by sports. So for all you guys out there and gals who are still obsessed with this is what a real professional wrestler is, look at the greatest wrestler considered right now in the world and ask yourself, what got him over in WWE? What got him over? It was literally him running, scooting to the ring and saying the word yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's where MJF was going with that. And that's my hot take. My hot take is that he's right. MJF is right. He is the top star in AEW. And it's because he is a generational talent. He has the charisma I can't even put into words the type of charisma he has. The guy never even stutters during a promo. He is someone that when he's on the TV, you are locked and loaded on him. With that said, I did think Jay White did a pretty good job coming back at him.
He did. No, Jay White did.
He surprised me.
I saw your tweet last night, and you said that this was the best Jay White has been on the mic, and it has. And I think you're going up against the juggernaut with MJF on the mic. No one expected Jay White to come in there and match him. It's a master. MJF week in and week out has been on a masterclass, and I was one that was saying for a while about MJF that it was starting to sound repetitive with him. It was like the same promo for this, and every rivalry seemed similar. It was the same things were being said. He's shown with this like tweener character he's got that he can be the full package, and he's changed a bit. And now I'm even more interested in MJF over the past few months than I have been.
Yeah, and like Switchblade is almost the perfect guy because he is that I'm over. I was in New Japan. I did all this. I headlined all these big time shows, and MJF's like, I don't give a shit. You're not entertaining. You're boring and stale.
There you go.
I don't care what other people are saying. Like, I'm telling you, as someone who is a top guy and is wildly entertaining, you are not, in fact, that. That's what was going on in that ring. And you know what that is? That's called real. Because what they were saying was real. And and Jay White, and he should believe this, he believes he's probably the best wrestler in the world. And I'm cool with that. Like this.
He's got a swagger to him.
Dude, he's got swagger out the fucking ass. I'm not saying he's got swagger.
Yeah, he's got swagger to him. And you can take him as a top guy. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not a big, he's ripped up, but he's not this big jacked up guy. But again, it's the way he carries himself.
Yeah, man.
And he did good. I thought the promo was good. I know a lot of people have been like, well, Juice
Do
is the
more of
star.
that though, Tony.
Yeah.
Like, do more of that shit. Get him in the ring with the fucking mic, because when you have Juice on the side and he's all like this fucking wild ass, like a wildcat enigma, like it's tough to stand out. Get the fucking dude. He did great last night, Jay White. I thought it was awesome. There, I was basically giving him a eulogy in my text message chains. I was like, Jay White's dead. MJF just ended him. And then he cuts a uninterrupted promo where he did not stutter and went for about legitimately probably like 8 minutes, like explaining to MJF who the fuck he was. And it was great. I thought it was great. Was it MJF? No, but it was great. And it sure as hell is worthy of being in the ring with him right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then like that. And like you said, take a breath, get your wind back, like you said, we want more of that, those type of segments. Like I didn't need to see Jay White and the gun boys in another 6-man tag against, Jobber 1, 2, and 3 from Denver, Colorado to get him over. I'm happy that we took that time, took that 20-minute segment, however long it was, and we got him over on the mic. And now people are going to be way more interested than seeing him do a few moves in the ring.
Yeah, and I was there. I was at All Out. And guess what? When Juice Robinson got in the ring, the crowd immediately popped for everything he was doing. But if Jay White is supposed to be the star, you can't have that all the time. Like, you need him to be positioned as the guy. And he did basically finish the match. He hit Switchblade, he did it all. But Blade Runner. But still, let's give the guy the fucking mic. He just went toe-to-toe with MJF, and I would say he probably did the best out of the majority of people that went toe-to-toe with him. Sans like Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's been doing it for fucking like 40 years. Okay, the last take I'll talk about is Adam Cole's ankle. What the fuck, man? Come on, bro. What are we doing here?
How'd he do it? He jumped off the stage.
Dude, he just jumped off the stage and landed awkwardly, and I could see it, man. And I feel bad for him because he really is like the nicest dude ever.
Not one of the nicest. Someone put that out the other day about who's the nicest pro wrestler. I'm like, it's Adam Cole, and you can debate who's second.
And Britt's nice too. She's a little bit of a firecracker, but she's super nice. I said something to her at Starcast. She at least turned around and acknowledged my existence. That was nice.
She's a star, and she carries
she's a star, and she carries herself like one. But like, man. And then I saw the X-ray, and it just looked awful. And I just feel bad for the guy because he was doing some great shit. He's still gonna probably do some skits and stuff like that, But listen, man, you're going under the knife. It's gonna be a bit. I hope, but at least it's his lower body, because bro, now you just got to get Jack City up top.
Yeah, just Jack.
Just do chest for like the next, just do chest and arms for like the next 5 months.
Be sitting in that chair, just get some lat raises in, get the shoulders popping, get the biceps popping. You can wear pants. Who cares about legs? Doesn't matter. It's an upper body business.
Yeah.
Wear the pants, wear the tights.
All right.
Get that upper body looking good.
So those are the hot takes. I'm sweating my balls off right now. As I am dressed head to toe. I look like I'm a waiter at a punk concert.
You look like you're the next member of Right to Censor.
Add
that in.
Good. I will. Yeah. Good faction, but everyone hated being in it.
I was there. You know what? Actually, I was there the first night that they debuted. It was in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they were doing. It was Stace. It was Tori Wilson and Trish, or Tori Wilson and Stacy. I'm not sure, but they were doing a strip tease. And all of a sudden, it was Ivory. That's it. And then all of a sudden, the Right to Censor, the big X came out, or whatever it was, and he ran out. Stevie Richards ran out and put her in a towel, ran to the back with her. Oh, it was.
I had a thing for Ivory back in the day because she was like that mature looking woman, like she's a little bit older. And that's like when you're young, you see older women like in there, like at the time, like my age. But the late 30s, and you're like, damn, because Sable always had like that, older look, like Sunny looked young, like Sunny looked like she was a girl in her 20s, but Sable always had like that little, I don't know. I don't want to say much because Brock's, married to Brock, but like that milky vibe. Anyway,
you're not wrong.
Moving along, married man, father of 2.
It's all right. Our wives don't listen.
They don't listen, and my wife refuses to see anything I do. And guess what? I don't blame her. Anyway, moving along to the next segment, we're going to take this into actually over. So these are the things that we saw this week that we felt were actually over. They got it popping on the screen, right? They caught our eyes, even behind the shades. They caught our eyes. So Ben, I'll kick it to you. I'm going to tag the big man in for some big boots and some leg drops. Go.
Let's go. All right. So this week, I really had the chance. And I'll be honest, folks, I don't get the chance to watch every single wrestling program. Me and Nick have lives. It's difficult. I know. What a surprise.
What?
We don't watch every single bit of
You have
wrestling.
a podcast and you're not watching every show?
Oh no, I know. We're gonna get killed by the Smarks. But no, I did take time. Actually, my wife's out of town as well. So I took time to watch a little bit more wrestling than normally. And I got to watch NXT in full. And let me tell you, folks, I'm going to go through the top 5 actually over in NXT this week. So starting with number 5, over as always, the NXT parking lot, the most dangerous place in all of wrestling. Baron Corbin choke slamming Braun Breaker through the roof of a car. NXT parking lot, anything can happen. Anything can happen in Orlando, in that industrial park in Orlando. No one's ever been to the Performance Center. That's what it is, an industrial park. It's really interesting seeing it. Number 4, I'm going to go with Trick Williams. Fans love to chant. They're chanting, whoop that Trick. He's got everybody behind him. And I don't care if it's only, 1,000, 1,500 people in the Performance Center watching. That's going to translate over to the main roster when he eventually gets there. Fans love to be involved, and now they have a chant behind him. He's gonna be a big deal once he gets to the main roster, and he's already looking great. He looks great on NXT. He's a shining star right now there. Number 3, Nick, this is close to you, the Italian Heritage.
Hey, how you doing?
I watched it. D'Angelo, Stax. Actually, Stax, also a good buddy of mine from the Indies. I'm not going to tell what his indie name was, but you can look it up. I don't know if he's Italian or he's Italian heritage, but hell, he has a hell of a good accent.
Yeah, everyone else, man. There's just people just trying to rip my shit off so badly.
How do you feel? How do you feel about it? Let's go to you. He's
about like what? Like about their gimmick or the fact that
what's up with the gimmick? I love the gimmick.
I love it.
I'm Italian
it's
too.
It's fantastic because it's been done so many times before. But if someone does it well with like a comedic hint to it, it works. If you try and like make it like a serious thing, it's like I don't want the Italian mobster. Like I think that sucks. But if you want to be like a cross between a mobster and Jersey Shore, or someone that understands that they look like a moron, like playing on the stereotype, I like that. I actually do. I've done it myself before. The difference is I'm actually Italian versus the majority of people that convey it. They're not.
I think Tony D'Angelo is actually Italian.
Oh yeah, he's got it.
Channing Lorenzo. I think the jury's out there. But also the tag team wrestling along that line, that whole segment. You had Out of the Mud, the Creed brothers, Metaphors also there. Another great tag team. You have the Lucario, I can't even say the word, but it was Angel Garza and Angel Garza. So tag teams, and they got gimmicks, and they're all different, and they're making it a thing. So number 2, I got Tiffany Stratton. She's over as absolute all get out for obvious reasons. And I'm sure the fans, once that Jade match happens, her and Tiffany, they're going to be locked in for respectful reasons and possibly disrespectful reasons. And number 1, we're going to give it to, you alluded to the beginning of the podcast, considered one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, possibly the greatest sports entertainer of all time, Shawn Michaels, the man in charge, the head honcho at NXT. What he's done over the past year, I think, has been great. I've been following NXT. They're growing in the ratings. They're growing their fan base. I think it's a perfect mix of that new era cartoony, gimmicky stuff and also the realistic stuff that Triple H had with the black and gold NXT. Perfect mix, exactly what we love in our professional wrestling. So that's my over. That's it. That's my top 5.
NXT definitely has done a better job of bringing themselves out of the hole they were in post black and gold. I do find myself tuning in a little bit more. They have my retention span, my retention on when I turn the channel onto NXT is definitely longer than it is. And I think it's because they're flushing out characters and flushing out storylines. I don't just turn it on. I just see a bunch of wrestling. I'm not interested in that. Sorry, folks. I have a wrestling podcast and I'm really not that interested in the wrestling. Okay. No, it's just the way it is. For me, actually over, I'm going to go with the closing moments of AEW Dynamite. The dude in the devil mask. Who is it? I love a good cliffhanger. Love a good cliffhanger. This right now, if you're watching on YouTube, Ben is just setting me up for a great thumbnail.
Good thumbnail. Oh,
That's
yeah. It's all
basically
about
what
the
was-
thumbnail, folks.
That's a little production.
That's we're pulling back the curtain a bit.
Pull back the curtain a
Let
little
you
bit.
know
That's a little production inside scoop there. Yeah. So anyway, so cliffhangers in pro wrestling. I love when they do that because it's like, okay, next time on Dynamite, like it's a show, it's episodic. It doesn't just end with a great wrestling match that ends and it's like, wait next week for more wrestling. No, the story of stories for that show revolved around that, and they closed with it. And the devil mask, obviously, it's synonymous with MJF, but who's behind the mask? Some people saw that they saw a man bun. That's what was said online. And
I'll give my take. I don't think who's behind the mask right now is going to be actually behind the mask. Yeah. So that's my little, like, again, pull the curtain back a bit. I don't think it would be the person that's supposed to be. Now, I've seen a lot of. Have you seen some of the predictions that people have said?
I haven't dove a ton. Well, give me some. Let me hear them.
I've heard Kyle O'Reilly, which I'd be
bored with. Continue.
All right, yeah, exactly. I saw Britt Baker. I was like, and I'm wondering maybe
just wouldn't
why odd. I don't know. It seems weird. I've seen Edge.
Okay,
I've seen
say
Edge
that works. Like if you do want to do it now, he looks a little small. Edge is 6'4", but like you said, it's maybe not the guy behind the mask.
It's probably not because Edge. I guess it's the end of September. His contract's up. We're at the end of September. So Wrestle Dream. Who knows?
Wrestle Dream. Another pay-per-view.
Another pay-per-view on, but that I will not be buying
for Tony. I'll probably buy it.
All right, good. You let me know how it goes.
Married, father too. I don't have much to look forward to anyway. I will watch Wrestle Dream. How you have a podcast? You didn't even watch Wrestle Dream? Shut up. Now, folks, listen. It's the moment you have all been waiting for since we announced it a week ago. We are going to, for the first time ever, create the PWM10, the Pro Wrestling Media Top 10 list. This list is the definitive list for the top 10 media personality dirt sheet people in all of professional wrestling. It's our time. We are dressed to impress because this is a momentous occasion. We could not come on here with Hawaiian shirts, Ben. We couldn't come on here with a graphic tee that I got at prowrestlingtees.com, right? I could not do that. We got to go. We got to be classy because this is a classy, very serious list. So we're going to kick it off. We're going to go 10 down to 1, and the big man is going to go and announce number 10 right now.
Number 10. We are coming. We talk about this all the time. We talk about Clickbait City. We talk about this. And I want to start out with a hot number 10. They are the judge, the jury, the executioner of Clickbait City, the kings of throwing shit at a fan and seeing what sticks. Ringside News coming in at number 10.
Ringside News, baby.
Just this morning, we want to talk about Clickbait City. They got me just this morning. There was a headline that read, Dominic Mysterio addresses showering accusations with Chelsea Green. So when you read that headline, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, folks?
Dom is in the shower with Chelsea.
Dom's in the shower with Chelsea. It turns out it was a tweet. She said he doesn't wash his hair, and he says, yes, I do. Whatever. It literally was nothing. It was a Twitter exchange. But Ringside News, they got me. They got me. They worked the shit out of me, and they're the best at it in wrestling.
Ringside News with the underscore, too, like just so unofficial.
Oh, right? The most.
Like, it's just so unofficial. Like, I would never have a handle with underscore at the end, first of all, if I wanted to be taken seriously. But Ringside News, man, they are the kings. And I don't even know who runs the damn thing, but I know the person goes off the rails from time to time. But they are the kings of taking just a tweet and just making it news. So, like, any tweet can literally be on the front page of Ringside News. I've never actually went to the website if there is one, because I'm 100% confident you will get Norton antivirus all up on your shit as soon as you fucking hit that link. There is zero chance your MacBook Pro survives a little trip to Clickbait City from Ringside News, brother.
Oh no, you're getting a virus as soon as you take a step into that sumbitch.
Number
And
10.
let me tell you, you know, we'll wrap it up with Ringside News, as you should wrap up your computer if you ever visit that website.
Yeah.
Soraya called him out recently too. You scummy pieces of shit, which she called them after they were saying, again with Dominic, they thought she was throwing shade at Dominic, but she was wearing a Prison Mike shirt. So you give them something, you give them an inch, they're taking a goddamn.
This is going to be on
26
Ringside
miles.
If them being number 10 is not actual news from Ringside News, we have failed, and this list is shit.
Have. Yep. All right. That's number 10. Kicking it to you, Nick, for number 9.
Number 9 on the PWM10. It might surprise some people because they've been around for a long, long time. Okay. But we are going with I don't know what we're going to call these people, like the godfathers of this. Maybe they were one of the first, right? We're going with Brian Alvarez and Big Dave Meltzer at number 9 because, folks, listen, they have lost a step, right? They've lost a step, which is why they're 9. Maybe a few years back when the internet didn't exist, right? Maybe they would be number 1 on this list. But now that there's autocorrect and things where you can actually formulate sentences and entertain people like ourselves, they're at number 9. But listen, if you want to be thrown into a word tornado of wrestling news and speculation and analysis from a veteran like Brian Alvarez and the OG of wrestling dirt sheeting with journalist Dave Meltzer, that's where you go, folks. If you're 75 years old and you want to know what Bill Watts ate for breakfast in 19 whatever the fuck, they're your guys, brother, and that's why they are at number
9. Yeah, no, if you hate good grammar, you know, if you hate coherent sentences, Dave Meltzer is the one to follow. He is. You're right. He's the OG of wrestling journalism. The Wrestling Observer has been around forever. The guy is a savant when it comes to wrestling, and he can hang with anybody, and he can fact check anybody. Now, again, his facts not always correct and not always right, but in his mind they are, and that's what's important, and that's what makes him number 9.
And listen, and before we move on, I will say this: we took our jeers, we took our shots at Alvarez and Meltzer, right? I will say this though. So hopefully if they're still watching the show and have not turned it off already, without guys like them, without Meltzer, we wouldn't have a lot of the cool shit we do have. Like basically Conrad's entire thing with Bruce is based off of Meltzer's stuff. So while I was just joking and taking shots at the guy, I do have a level of respect for the absolute fucking grind that dude has been on forever. I don't agree with a lot of his takes. We don't share the same look at wrestling. I don't think a star rating exists. He has built an empire based off star ratings, and I commend him for that.
Absolutely.
We just have different philosophies, but I am grateful to him and Brian with what they've done to at least usher in and legitimize somewhat wrestling media to an extent, which we have our back and forth about, like, is it good? Is it bad? But at the end of the day, it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the guys like that. So I will say that's why they are at number 9. All right, we're going to number 8, and we are back to you then.
Back to me. And for number 8, this guy has been in the headlines of wrestling. CM Punk has been in the headlines of wrestling for some time now, for a long time. And you know who you go to when you want your CM Punk news. If you want to know where he's eating, if you want to know where he's living, you want to know where he's taking a shit,
the house.
Nick Houseman of the House of Wrestling is your go-to. He's the one who killed the CM Punk Miro rumor. He's got all the CM Punk news. This guy is on top of the CM Punk news, just like how what's his name covers LeBron. What's his name? Windhorse. Just like how Windhorse is attached to LeBron, he gets all the LeBron takes. Nick Houseman is the Brian Windhorse of professional wrestling. And he's been doing well over the past year. You know, he's gained a lot of popularity. House of Wrestling launched the premier streaming network, Friends of the Pod, premier streaming
Friends of the Pod.
Very good Friends of the Pod.
You could DM us. We're not cheap though, because we're not cheap, but you could hit us up if you want us on that.
Hottest free agents. Every Tuesday, Thursday at noon, we'll put them over. We put over the other pods. There's no pod heat here. We don't have podcast heat. So Nick Houseman, his House of Wrestling, Tuesday, Thursdays. We come out on Friday. So tune into him. He's been doing a great job. My only question is, Nick, when are we invited to the house?
Yeah, man. When are we going to the house? I own one.
You want to make it a house party? Invite the MPX onto the House of Wrestling. Let us know. Calendar's open.
And I'll say this about Houseman too. He did get one of the best clips that there've been in recent, like in pro wrestling. Remember, he has that clip where he asked Rollins about, would you want to see Phil Brooks CM Punk return?
That's a good.
And that's
clip.
where Rollins is like, Philly,
Yep.
stay away, Philly, stay away. We don't want you here, Philly. You were a jerk.
I forgot that was Houseman.
That's Houseman. So Houseman
Wow.
got that clip, and that to me is worthy of number 8.
All right.
I know he's got some detractors at times, but listen, he's grinding out there, man. He's grinding. What's next? What number are we at?
We're going to number 7. This is a favorite of yours.
Oh man, this one, brother. Let me get the shades properly for this one, because this one's a good one.
Let me take a few breaths.
Number 7, we got one of the most controversial media personalities in the wrestling community.
It creates cash.
He's got a hell of a looking YouTube. He's probably got the best product in terms of like production value, consistent and everything, right? But a lot of people hate his fucking guts, man. Okay, and it's JD from New York, brother. He just said, I just saw a tweet. He said, some guys like, you live in the Bronx and you shitty thing. He's like, I left that fucking shithole. And he just went scorched earth on people. Absolute scorched earth on people. And he's number 7. And here's why, man. It's because, listen, he was going to be maybe, we didn't want to catch too much heat either by putting him too high, because like I said, people just can't. They just go at this dude, right? So we're not trying to be guilty. He's a heel, and we're not trying to
mega heel,
man. Like we're not trying to be guilty by association here, but we are journalists, so we're making sure that we do right by.
He was voted in. He was voted
in by the very illustrious panel. Now, listen, what really stood out to me though, and listen, initially, he was, maybe going to be 10, but all of a sudden he comes out, brother. And he just lights up fucking Ryan Satin's world by just being like, yo, you think I'm just podcasting? No. I'm in the gym squatting 275, brother. 275 on the back squat, getting depth, right? Knees right in front of the shoulders. I'm sure. JD.
Did we have video?
We got to guess. I think there is a video of him squatting. I think he was yelling at Jade one time. He was like, "Oh yeah, Jade, check this fucking shit out. I'm about to get in the depth." So he racks it. I'm sure you're getting heels to the floor, dropping that ass, right? And boom, exploding out of the bottom. But 275, Ben. I mean, do we just need to go to the gym now and try and keep up with JD?
I mean, I think he's an athletic marvel at this point. I don't know if
this is unbelievable.
Okay, why isn't he in the ring?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, but JD, but all things considered, listen. All right, so we have our fun usually, right? But let's talk about JD. Let's just get the hate, like he has his detractors, whatever. Listen, guy has top production value when it comes to his shows. He has multiple shows, multiple brands, doesn't miss. He's very well spoken. He does come prepared. His angles, you may not like what he has to say, but this motherfucker does not back down from anybody. Like, he just legitimately says whatever is on his mind. So you kind of have to respect that. A lot of what he says, people just don't like. And I will allow those people to say it. This, again, is a list that has journalistic integrity. So that's why that I'm making sure that I'm covering all bases there. So JD from New York, not the shitty Bronx anymore, is number 7. Number 6 goes to you, Ben. What do we got?
All right, number 6, and no one told this journalist that it's open mic night, bitch. If you follow him, if you don't, you should be, but if you do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going with Muscle Man Malcolm at number 6, another friend of the pod. Now, he is one of the only pro wrestling journalists as well as power lifters in wrestling media. Now, he's the strongest wrestling journalist. Again, that's like saying the smartest guy in Mississippi. But hey, you know what? It's still impressive, and we're going to give it to him because we respect it. We respect the lifting. I bet you he squats more than 275, though, JD, and that's why he's number 6 and you're number 7.
Listen, if you get throw your squat numbers out there, that's the reason why you're listed where you're listed. Like if you know, if you were doing 315, you might be 6.
Might be 6.
I don't know.
We're giving it to the big man, Muscle Man Malcolm.
Also,
he has been, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Nice guy, man. That's nice guy.
Just an all-around nice guy. He's been posting videos since he was 12 years old. So he's 24 now. So 12 years of this. He's 24. He's already an OG. Let's go through the numbers. He's got 28,000 subscribers on YouTube. 28,000. We'll be there someday. We got a ways to go, but we'll be there. We're holding ourselves accountable. He's got 15K on IG, and you know how he does it. He doesn't do dirt sheet stuff. He doesn't do the hot scoops. It's not what he's about. He's just a positive influence. He's a positive guy. He's got $1 million smile. And he just, people are just drawn to him. They're drawn to him. Top guys, no name indie guys, they're drawn to Malcolm, and he's built himself his little empire. And
he wears great hats too. He wears great hats. He's got good style, man.
And here's the one thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say this, folks. Next week, we are going to have Muscle Man Malcolm.
Whoa, would you look at that?
Wow.
A big scoop.
He will be coming on, joining. He'll come on aboard the Meat Pop Express. We're going to have him on. We're going to do one of our shows with Muscle Man Malcolm, so stay tuned for that. But number 6, good friend of the pod, Muscle Man Malcolm. Yeah,
that was very humbling because you said he had his first video when he was 12, and considering how old he is, that means I was 26. Anyway, at number 5, man, you mentioned Mississippi, brother. You mentioned Mississippi. So if we're talking media personalities, we're talking big personalities with big heads, may even say ego. You may even say ego.
Literally and figuratively, a huge head.
So at number 5, we're going with my former employer, Barstool Sports, the host or former host of
maybe
wrestling,
still,
which I ran on my back. Brandon fucking Walker is number 5 on the PWM10. He's number 5 on the list of best media personalities in professional wrestling. And listen, there is no one else on this list that has been so good at their job, right? So think about this is how good Brandon Walker has his job, right? He was so good at interviews. So he got so many views, right? So many subscribers in a short period of time. And people loved his interviews so much that they could sell it so easily that they couldn't sell the show, that they said they weren't going to sell the show. So they ended up canceling the show. That's how good he is. That Barstool was like, this show has too much good data. I don't want to sell it. And they were like, and Brandon's like, but why? Wow, it's a good show. People like it. And they were like, no, Brandon, it's too good. We can't sell it. So they canned it, but he still made that one appearance on NXT with LA Knight, by the way.
His first night there.
LA Knight's, yeah. His first night on WWE program NXT. Brandon Walker standing right there. If the exact quote was, who's this big idiot behind me? That was Brandon. Brandon Walker, all things considered, one of my personal friends. Did a lot for me, obviously. He, to me, is the best pro wrestling interviewer on the planet, which may cause a little friction later on the list. But to me, in terms of pure entertainment value and bringing something very unique to pro wrestling, there is no one better than Brandon fucking Walker, and that's why he's number 5.
Yeah, I owe a lot to Brandon as well. You know, he picked me out of obscurity when he wanted to be a pro wrestling manager and decided to roll with me. I mean, obviously I know why he would. You know, 6'12", 15% of a metric ton, looks that kill. But regardless, Brandon Walker, we are big fans of Brandon, even though he doesn't reply to text very often,
Or
even
acknowledge this show.
if at all, or acknowledge this show. But you know what? You reach out to Brandon if you really need something. The guy's gonna have your back. He's managed me on a few shows. OVW guy took at Invictus, he took a body slam from Wrecking Ball Legursky, all 6'4", 400 pounds of him. He's never taken a bump in his life, and Brandon took that bump, and he was complaining about it the whole night to me and to the next day about how hurt he was. So is he meant to be a manager? I don't know. Jury's still out, but very worthy to be on the Pro Wrestling Media top 10.
And I'll say this, in terms of general knowledge, the only person that Meltzer like could have an issue with when it comes to like talking like wrestling, like trivia and stuff, is Brandon.
Oh, he
the
knows
dude
a lot.
is
Yeah.
the dude is he's a legitimate savant, legitimate savant when it comes to it.
Absolutely. All right, Brandon, number 5.
Now we are going to a number 4. Number 4, it's you, Ben.
One better than Brandon. One better. Remember this, Brandon. She is one better than you. At number 4, Denise Hollywood Salcido, right? Salcido, I'm saying it right. Salcido. Go by the numbers, 106.2 thousand Twitter followers, no big deal. She's been on Wrestling Observer. She's been on Busted Open. She's been on Fightful. You name it. This girl is everywhere. And also an extremely, extremely nice person to be around. We met her at StarCast. Very pleasant, very nice person. That's tough to say in wrestling at times. And fun fact, for everyone to know, she's actually one of the few wrestling journalists that Nick is taller than. So I had to add that in. Sorry, had to add that in so the people know. The people need to know.
I am though. Sorry, Denise.
He is.
Sorry.
So he is. So, but again, extremely nice person. She's been doing a hell of a job. She goes everywhere. She does everything. That's why she's worthy of number 4. Nick,
listen, she's been at it for some time too, and she's done a hell of a job of just growing her brand. She grinds her fucking ass off. You see her everywhere. She's front row at the media rows. She's carrying around a tripod. She's filming her own shit. She's getting the interviews. She's become a household name when it comes to wrestling media. And listen, she's, whether you want to say breaking the glass ceiling or not, she's up there with anyone right now in terms of media. You want to talk media? Denise Salcido is one of the first names that come to you, that come to your brain. That's just kind of the way it is. She deserves every bit of this number 4, and she is so much better than Brandon Walker.
Oh, sure.
All right, we are moving into number 3. Number 3. Actually, fun fact: Denise had Brandon on her show.
Her show.
You know that it was on her show.
Did she come on his show?
Nah, she's too big of a star.
That's why she's number 4.
She basically turned us down. We tried to get Denise. I was calling her at nauseum. I was like, just any email I can get, but like, please come on the show and give us some more views that are going to be ignored. All right, here we go. Moving along to number 3, brother. So number 3, this guy right now, in terms of reporting, he's the guy. If you need to know something, if you need to trust something in a world where nothing can literally be trusted, if you had to like bet your life, if your life was on the line that this news that was being reported to me about professional wrestling was true, and you had to pick a reporter to give you that news, it would be Sean Ross Sapp. And I don't think that is even a debate. SRS, when you got people calling you by the 3 letters of your name, you know, at least in pro wrestling, that means you've made it.
Oh yeah, SRS. Let me tell you, the notorious SRS. He is on top of every single scoop. He's the Schefter. He's the Shams. He is the guy when it comes to big scoop city. People are going to him. They're going. He gets everything before anyone, and for the most part, usually all true.
Yeah, he does a good job too of like not clickbaiting your ass off. Like he legit, like if the details are vague, they'll just be vague, and he'll be like, listen, I don't have all the details. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Well,
Yep.
I'm all right reading this now because I don't feel like an absolute buffoon with just getting thrown gossip my way. Also, if shit pops off, like you'll see on your Twitter, Sean Ross Sapp is talking. Like you just see it right away. It's like doesn't miss a beat. He's always there. He probably takes the reporting craft, like actual wrestling reporting, more seriously than anyone.
Yes.
Other than whoever's at number 2, which we're going to get to in a second. But yeah, SRS, I would say right now, he is worthy of that number 3 spot because he's just everywhere. And he's had in his journey to get there, it's documented. Shit wasn't easy, and we respect that. He has also responded to about 2 of our tweets, which we greatly appreciate. We would love him to, respond to more of them because we are getting some scoops. So play along, Sean. It's fun. And,
fun here, Sean.
We put you at 3. That's pretty good, man. No one else is making this fucking list.
Sean, we're putting you over, Sean. Let's retweet this one. How about that, Sean? Just retweet this clip. This clip here. Retweet it.
Retweet this right now.
This one. Now.
We'll wait. Okay. Number 2, Ben, you want to do this one?
No, number 2
might be a little bit of a controversy.
These guys are new. These guys are new, but they burst onto the scene. They burst through that wall like the Shockmaster. But you know what? In revisionist history, they were standing up and they were winning the world title, brother. At number 2, the most handsome. The most jacked, the most credentialed wrestling journalist, the Meat Pop Express, brother.
Credentialed out, man. It's us. We are number 2.
Credentialed up. Oh, look at the
I can't believe, man. I am so unbelievably just humbled by being put number 2 by the illustrious panel that was selected at random.
The triumphant panel that was selected totally at random, unbiased panel sees the potential in the MPX, and they put us at number 2.
It's actually crazy, man.
It is. I mean, we went to Starcast. We deserve it. We deserve it because we went to Starcast. We made Starcast our bitch. We went around there. Everybody was looking at old Meat Pop Express, old Nikki the Good, no Big Trouble. Everybody was looking at us. There was a ton of stars there, but we were the attraction all weekend.
We are the only pro wrestling journalists that are acts as well. Like let's keep that the truth of the way it is.
We are
we are an act. We are a tag team. We are available for booking. If you want the greatest professional wrestling journalist media act ever of all time at your show, you hit us up at meatpopexpress@gmail.com and we will come to your show for an exorbitant booking fee. Okay.
Exorbitant.
Or
we're not cheap.
Or just credentials.
We like credentials.
But we're number 2. Listen, we may or may not have made the list, but we're number 2 because we deserve it. Okay, we are hot, we are good looking, we are new on the block. But bottom line is, we are wildly entertaining, and if you're watching this, you understand why. Get used to it because we ain't going anywhere. And Conrad, or at Starcast Events on Twitter. Please let us know when we will be going on for the live show at Starcast next year, so we can make ourselves available. Thank you. Okay, so we are at number 1. We've made it.
Number 1.
I'm exhausted for the 3rd time.
We're gonna pick it back up. The energy's coming back for this one because we are. You guys might know, you might not.
You may have seen this guy once or twice pop up on your screen.
Twice, a couple thousand times.
At number 1, and we're gonna say it. We're gonna say it together, Ben. Okay, because this is just drum. Should we get drum roll? Drum roll, please. At number 1, first ever PWM10, the Pro Wrestling Media Top 10 list. Number 1 is
Chris Van Vliet.
He did it. I can believe he did it. Simply the best.
Dun,
Dun,
dun, dun,
dun,
dun, dun.
dun,
You're
dun.
simply
Better
the best.
better than
Than
all the
all the
rest.
rest.
Better than all the rest. He's got a jawline carved out of Mount Vesuvius. Chris Van
Ooh.
Vliet, #1 with a bullet. There was no one else left to put it #1. I mean, he just interviewed Hogan. He interviewed The Rock. He interviewed
Ric
Uncle
Flair.
Rocky. He interviewed Ric Flair. He just interviewed someone else that's really
Everyone.
big. Becky Lynch, he just came out with today.
I mean,
He's like, and like, he's such a nice guy.
oh, there's no one. There really
guy.
is no one nicer than this guy.
Oh.
He's a fan of the pod. We could say that with confidence.
Our first fan. He might be our first fan.
He is. He was our first fan, and he is like he is one of the nicest human beings on the planet. Bar not just wrestling. Now we're not just talking wrestling. He's a genuinely nice human being, and he has absolutely killed it in the past few years. This guy is a machine, like you read about.
He has absolutely bucked what like everything pro wrestling was thought to be. Like carny, like stab you in the back, talk behind your back, gossip, whatever. He has gone the polar opposite way, has just been truthful, respectful, well-spoken, doing clean interviews, not gotcha shit, no clickbait stuff. No. He's not wearing sunglasses, asking ridiculous questions, trying to cause a ruckus. Like, he's not doing any of that. He's just doing it in the best way possible, and he's a gift to pro wrestling, just in general across the board. And he's not just doing pro wrestling, he's doing media as well. I mean, the guy's everywhere. He's like a legitimate bona fide star in media, period. And he just so happens to also just really love professional wrestling. Chris Van Vliet, #1 on the PWM10, the first ever, deserved and more. And to that I say, thank you, Chris, for paving the way for idiots like us.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Chris, thank you. So we can wear the shades. Obviously, the sun never sets. I'm a cool guy. And we're gonna try to get him. We're gonna try to get him.
We're gonna get Chris Bentley. We're gonna pick his brain. We're gonna figure out how to get this bad.
As long as he has shades. As long as he has shades.
He's got to wear the shades, though. I mean, don't come on this show and disrespect us. You know what I'm saying? We are #2 after all. We're right on your fucking ass.
Yeah, we're right on your.
Right on your ass.
We're right here, Chris. We're coming.
All right. That's the PWM10. I can't believe we finally got here. I can't believe we made it. It's going to be a lot of clips to cut.
A lot of clips. All right. Yep. A lot of clips.
We're going to close up the show because I'm exhausted with Get Your Shit In. Ben, Big Trouble, what do you got going on?
Oh, man, get your shit in this week. Not much going on when it comes to wrestling. Got to do, you got to keep the wives happy. Got a nice little weekend planned. We're going to go away to Helen, Georgia. Nice little Oktoberfest.
Georgia?
Helen.
Okay.
Like Mount Helena, Helen, Georgia. So we're going to have a nice little weekend. But when it comes to wrestling, folks, I made the tweet yesterday. And let me just get this out there. There was a scout. There was a guy who told all Big Trouble. He said things like, you ain't charismatic. You ain't got a personality. You ain't got an it factor. Well, I'm not going to name this guy. We're not going to dox anybody. But let me tell you, buddy, one day me and you, we're going to cross paths again. We are. Believe it, because this thing, the Meat Pop Express, old Big Trouble, old Nicky the Good, we're a damn rocket ship, and we're going to make ourselves known. We are #2 in the pro wrestling media top 10, and that's a goddamn shoot, brother. So anybody that wants to doubt us, we're two guys with chips on our shoulders, on these big, beautiful, ripped, jacked, stacked shoulders. And we're going to continue this and make ourselves known because we're on a goddamn roll. So anyone that doubts us, just be on the lookout.
That's right.
Pop Express is coming down the tracks, down the road.
That's right. The Meat Pop Express Revenge Tour will not be stopped. With that said,
hold grudges. We hold grudges.
With that said, we definitely need your support, though. So please follow us everywhere at Meat Pop Express. That's TikTok. That is on Twitter. That is on Instagram. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel that you see us on right now. Please like it. And please leave a comment, a random comment. I don't care what it says. Type the letter A and click comments. That is all you need to do. It helps the algorithm. Also, Apple and Spotify. This is very important. Please go there and give us a review. If you give us a really good review and I find it through these shitty Apple apps, I will read it on air and say your name out loud and give you a rub. That's what I will do for you. With that said, that's all we got for this week, folks. It was a great show. It was a great event. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know you did. And to the winners, to the top 10, congratulations. To anyone who did not make the list, there's always next year. Okay, there's always next year. There are only going to be 9 spots, though, because we will always be on this list.
We're always going to be on it.
We always be on it. All right.
Not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere. And with that said, Ben, you got anything to say to these marks?
Keep it positive, keep it trucking, and keep the shades on, because the sun never sets on a cool guy.
Later, Marks.